Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video with me, Tom Dollimore. For those of you who don't know by now, I started this season as the #1 ranked manager on the FPL Research and FPL Manager rankings, and this video series right here is where you can follow me, my team and my thoughts throughout this season. Hope you all had a great game week 16. Let's have a look at how I did. Had a pretty crazy game week really. It wasn't the craziest score compared to the field that I've ever had, but it was just the way the week played out really for me. So I did get a bit of a green arrow, 81 points. Overall ranks now up to 115,651. But it was just a bit crazy because until the last game of the game week on a Monday night, I was so I come into that Monday on I think it was about a 27 point red arrow. And yeah, it all kind of unfolded on that last game, and it was pretty crazy. So just running through the team and how they did. Yeah, I'm really glad I didn't bring in a third Arsenal defender actually, because that was on the cards. So yeah, Raya with 2 points, Timber with 2 points. Yeah, I did talk in the last video about bringing in that third Arsenal defender because I wasn't going to go for Saka. So really glad I didn't do that. Anderson with 2 points, slightly disappointing there, but Van Dijk coming in with the 6 points, finally delivering some decent points there. And then we got Foden, who I think most people have got now, 11 points. Nice to still keep getting points from him. Cunha finally coming in with some points for me, 8 points there. Szoboszlai, a bit disappointing, 3 points and potentially injured. That's a bit of a concern. Semenyo finally giving me some points. I think most people have sold him by now, and I was holding him for the next game week for Burnley at home all this time, so it's quite nice to get some points before other people start buying him for that fixture. Bruno Fernandes, captain, 13 points, so 26 points there. Obviously he delivered last week a nice, I think it was 18 points. And now getting those points as captain is absolutely brilliant after I've been saying all season how good he is. It's nice to finally see those points coming through. And up front we had Thiago with 2 points and Haaland with 13 points. Obviously not captain, so that kind of went against me. But yeah, it was just a bit of a crazy week really, because yeah, like I said, I come into that last day with the 27 point red arrow. Obviously the popular captains Haaland and Saka both delivered over 10 points by then. So I think Saka had about 80 odd % effective ownership against me, and Haaland had 50%. Well, he had 150% effective ownership, but because I've got him, it's 50% of the points go against me. I kind of have a relaxed view on the game. I think it's what helps me make good decisions, and it's part of why I'm good at the game. But yeah, there's times like this when it does creep into my head and I start to wonder, is this where it goes downhill, and is this where it starts to turn? My luck starts to turn, and so yeah, by the end of Sunday, I was starting to think, oh, is this it? Is this when it starts to go downhill for me? But there's been a few times over the years that I've thought that. To be honest, every season I wonder if this is going to be the season where my luck runs out, and or I just have a really bad season, and it just every year it seems to pan out. And yeah, that Sunday was the time when I started to feel that. And then the Monday night, I'd almost by the last game I'd almost written off the game week and just accepted that I've got some bit of a mountain to climb to get back. And it's not like that would be the worst position I've been in. I think I was with that red arrow I was down to 375,000th, and it's happened before previous seasons. You go up and down. Last season in particular, I kind of I went against the crowd quite a bit, so had a lot of that last season. So it's not the worst. So I'd already accepted, like, worst case I'll be ranked 375,000th. But for that to happen on the last day, all of my players playing, Cunha, Semenyo and Bruno Fernandes all delivering the points, and it just it just turned that red arrow into a slight green arrow. So it was a pretty fun week. Moving on to how I'm looking for this week. Obviously we got so just running through the lineup that I've got now. We got Raya in goal, obviously Timber again. Yeah, I'm not too bothered now that Wolves fixture's gone about having 3 Arsenal players. I think I'm quite in general I'm quite happy with how my team is actually. So yeah, two Arsenal defence. I'm pretty happy with that at the minute. Van Dijk against Tottenham away. I've currently got him in the lineup. it's pretty close between him and Anderson against Nottingham Forest, but currently going with Van Dijk. I think it might just be my perception on this one, but I feel like Liverpool have been slightly better and Tottenham have been pretty bad. So yeah, I kind of feel quite good about that, but I don't know yet. Not completely settled on that one. O'Reilly, obviously, so Laquata O'Reilly would have been my transfer this week. I decided to do it last week because I needed a bit of bench cover because Timber was a bit of a doubt. So I decided to move that forward a week and have that bench cover. Unfortunately, he did actually score points, and that got stuck on my bench. But yeah, it's nice to have that ready, loaded, and good to go for this week. So yeah, O'Reilly, obviously Man City got West Ham at home, so really good fixture for Man City this week, so glad to have him there. Moving on to midfield, we've got Foden, obviously, as I just said, West Ham at home, unbelievable fixture. And then we've still got Cunha. If I was going to make a transfer this week, I don't think I'm going to make a transfer. I think it's going to be a roll for me, depending on news. But yeah, I think if I was going to make a transfer, it would be Cunha out, but then he's got really good fixtures after this week. Actually, no, he's got Newcastle, and then he's got really good fixtures. So, and I don't really want to get rid of him. I think he's. I want to see how he gets on with Mbeumo out the team. I don't know. I can't decide if Man United are going to be horrendous because they've lost Mbeumo and Ahmad. If Cunha actually might be a little bit better, I don't know. I can't call it. So I don't really want to sell him because I want to see how it pans out. And obviously he's just scored some points for me, and he's looked pretty good last few weeks. So yeah, I don't want to sell him yet. So Bosley, currently he's got a flag on him, injury doubt. We know he went off injured, but we don't really know a huge amount about it yet. So got to wait for news on that. Done a bit of planning on this, and I think even if Bosley is out for 2 weeks, I probably still won't make a transfer. So yeah, it's a pretty strong roll this week. Semenyo, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, we've held him for this Burnley home fixture. It's quite nice that he actually got the 4th yellow in the last game week, because I think that'll put some people off. Obviously, he's safe for this game week, so people will still buy him, but there'll be a number of people who won't buy him for one game week or buy him with that risk of the yellow card, so that's quite nice. It means that I've got him, and he's a bit more protected from higher ownership for this really good fixture. So hopefully that comes off and he gets a really good, like a nice haul or something, a few goals. That'd be really nice. Because he's not been great while I've held him. He scored last week, but he's not done anything for ages. So that would be that'd be nice. Bruno Fernandes, obviously the greatest player in the game. Not captain this week. It's quite nice to have a week where I'm not going against the crowd with the captain. It's been a slightly stressful last couple of weeks, so it's quite nice to, especially when both times it's been the Monday that I have to wait for it to come off. But up front we've got Thiago's, obviously he missed the midweek fixture out of the squad. He's got Wolves away, so you can't really, I don't think we're going to get any more information on him, so I think you just got to start him, and it doesn't sound like it's too bad, so hopefully he comes in and it's Wolves away and he does something good. We'll see, but yeah, you got to start him. I don't think you can sell him based on the information we've got with that fixture. So, and then we've got Haaland, West Ham at home, the triple captain. Finally, for a very long time, I've earmarked this fixture as the triple captain, or the first triple captain. So we're finally here and we've got it activated. So I don't think there's any way that's going to be deactivated. I think it's a absolute lock-in. There's the option for Bruno Fernandes against Wolves at home in 19, but I mean both the models support Haaland quite strongly versus that, and I think there's a bit of information that's probably not factored into the models majorly, which is both of West Ham's fullbacks at AFCON, and they've already had pretty weak defensive numbers. So yeah, really hopeful about this one. I think most years I've had my triple captain pay off. I think last year, I can't remember off the top of my head, I think it might have been a blank, but I think last year may have been my first triple captain blank. but hopefully not this year. We'll see how it goes. And then we've got Anderson first bench and Rodon second bench against Palace at home. Anderson against Forest at home. So as I said, I think Anderson, Forest at home, I could switch him out for Van Dijk. Yeah, I think that's probably the only change based on the players I've got now that I might make. So I'll have to wait and see. See if the sort of market odds change much on that and what the data shows. But at the moment, I'm sticking like this. But yeah, as I've said, I think it's a pretty strong roll for me this week. I've got 4 free transfers, 0.1 million in the bank. I can't see, I mean, like I've said, even if Szoboszlai is out for, we hear that he's out for this week, I'd probably just bench him and put Anderson in, and then I've still got Rodon. I think that Crystal Palace home fixture is quite good. I don't think Crystal Palace's attacking numbers have been brilliant. Obviously they're quite good defensively, but their attacking numbers haven't been brilliant. Home fixture, I don't mind that as a bench option. I think the only scenario I'll make a transfer is if we hear that Szoboszlai is out for a number of weeks, probably more than 2. I feel like Anderson and Rodon are good enough for this week, so I'm just not in a, I can't see a clear move I'd like to make. The only real plans I've got right now are, I mentioned last week, game week 22 to get Palmer in, and at the moment it's a few weeks away, so a lot can change, but at the moment I'm looking at Cunha to Enzo Lefebvre, or actually before that I'd probably do Semenyo to Shard next week, so game week 18. I like the look of that move. But I quite like the look of it. I quite like the idea of a bit of a punt on Shard while Artura's out at AFCON. I think Shard's minutes are, they're pretty good anyway, but I think they're even better while he's out. So I quite like that move. And then yeah, in 22 it would be Cunha to Enzo Lefebvre and Shard to Palmer. Obviously at the minute Palmer's minutes are being managed, so I'm hoping by then he starts to get those minutes back up. But at the moment I'm kind of predicting that will happen by then. But we'll see how it plays out. But those are the only real plans I've got right now. Triple captain's active. Like the team as it is at the minute. Pretty happy with all of it. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Hope you all have a great game week. I should be doing the next video for the Boxing Day fixtures. So yeah, that's the current plan. So I will see you in the next video, but it won't be until Boxing Day you hear from me. So have a great Christmas, have a great game week, and I will see you in that next video.